this unit, and now we are going to start with the first resume. Now, as the name suggests, resume is a short and summarized form of your fact of your of resume is a piece of paper which you are going for apply, you are going to like reframe while you are going for the new job. So resume actually a Latin word, and why it is called a effective resume, we have to eliminate background frictions, and resume is must having this gives you a better opportunity as well as an important form of communication at the workplace. After concentrating in the above point, while preparing a resume, it is important that following features should be very considerable. One more thing I would like to add on in this thing, that resume is a short summarize thing for your profile, and like curriculum vitae is a lengthy profile. While I must want to say this thing, that resume is meant for the freshers generally, and for working executives we always prepare a curriculum vitae. Now the point is, what is facts? What facts are involved? First of all, we have to eliminate background distractions, right? Secondly, we have to use very professional language. That is very important, because if you are not, if you are using informal way of writing, that would not be worthwhile. Prepare a script with proper modulation of voices are there.
Ma'am,
Script.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I think your PPT is not visible. Even uh,
Okay.
I can't see. No one see. I think.
Okay. 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 Just a moment, please.
Are you there, ma'am?
Now it's okay. Is it visible? Learners,
Yep. Thank you.
my
Yes,
PPT is visible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
This
ma'am,
is
visible.
Okay, okay, okay. Just hold for 1 more minute. So we are talking about resume, right? So it is precise and short, as I told you. We prepare a script also. We share with the mentor and the friend for review. Of course, when we are going to do anything, like we have to prepare this type of thing, we have to very much conscious while making these type of resumes or employment based things. We have to talk about consultant also, that your CV is okay or not. If any problem arises, you can immediately like sorry, my voice is clear to you or not? My
Yeah, we
voice
can
is
hear
clear?
you properly. Go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you
Okay.
properly.
Off है. Okay, right. Coming next with the curriculum vitae, right? Or curriculum vitae. What is curriculum vitae? Curriculum vitae is a short form of CV, right? It's usually resume summarize the credentials of the candidate, where a CV is a kind of academic professional diary, we can say. A curriculum vitae, often abbreviated as a CV, and it's a vital document made by the applicant to highlight their skills, academic knowledge, professional endeavor, and so on. Generally, if you want, you can write it down what we are going to point out in our curriculum vitae. It should be a font should be very specific. First of all, candidate name must be appear on the top right corner of the CV, and if possible, kindly paste your photograph also. It is very much required. Proper spacing and grouping is very much essential. We have to use formal email ID. We do not generally, I have seen in so many resumes that like mail to me Soumya and greenbandhu.com. What is all this? If you are going for a job, your proper email ID is there, and it should be very professional. It looks very professional. So better to make your professional ID with your name or your surname. Okay, use a formal email ID. A specific career objective should be shared in your curriculum vitae, and it should be in your mind also, because there are several people who can ask you, like, please explain your career objective, but nobody answer this it properly. Why? Because people copy paste generally and put in to their CVs, and when they are asking just explain your career objective, no one can going to explain. Why? Because it's not your own thinking process. So always remember this thing. Make your curriculum vitae very much specific, make your career objective very clear, and use simple language. Don't use jargons, because if you use jargons, you are not able to like explain your resume or CV. Additional information like hobbies, interests are also there. Put your references, because references is very essential, because a lot of people can ask about your this thing. Then your interview portfolio. Now, what is interview portfolio? Interview portfolio is what? A systematic, well designed, well articulated portfolio can surely give a candidate an edge above his or her competitors. and can impress the recruitment manager. A portfolio is a detailed view of the candidate qualification, skill set, and also provide a sample of his or her work as well. So we have always prepared creative skills should be shown in your portfolio. Short inclination towards the job portfolio makes the candidate feel more confident. See, I am telling you a very practical thing. People like those person who are very much professional and who are ready to do their job independently first of all, and whatever mentioned in your resume should be very clear, and your resume should be very lucrative also. If your resume or your CV is not like up to the mark, people said that he he
Ma'am, your
has
voice is
copied.
breaking.
Are very much interested for this job, and you are supposed to work diligently and diligently because you are very serious and you want to make your career in a very fruitful manner. Next point is portfolio makes the candidate feel more confident and prepared. If you are having, if you are creating portfolio, then it should be very, it should gives you edge of confidence, and it is seen that you are like your skills and your experience is worth enough. I must say this thing, right? A well articulated portfolio shows tremendous interest and focuses on the job. This is very much required. Next is showcase an actual example of skills and work. Always put your curriculum, whatever you have done, whatever skills you are having. Why? Because your skills and your work will speak your with your candidature. Like always remember your like recruiter is presented an actual tangible proof. You want, everyone want tangible proof, no one want tangible intangible proof. Suppose you are saying this, your words are different, and your piece of paper, your resume said something else. So always see that your words and your piece of paper will always be same. I hope everyone get this point clearly. So now next is like question arises: what are the components of portfolio? See, well-designed portfolio may include various things like sample of the candidate's work, work in progress, certifications, awards, along with the candidate's professional experience and qualification. Commence with the candidate's introduction. See, first of all, we have to like start with your introduction part. Opening part of the candidate's portfolio should be eye-catching. Don't like use like useless words. Always use eye-catchy words, which or two, one or two sentences like, I'm giving you an example. I'm having a very good team player with the work experience of 12 years. So this is very eye-catchy, and this is set USP, unique selling process for yourself, because you are also you yourself like a product in front of the customer. Customer, who is customer? Customer is your interviewer, and you are a product because you are going to sell in front of the interviewer, right? Next point is highlight your professional background. How could you highlight? You can highlight the professional background by visual timeline of the education, work education. One must always highlight specific achievements and contributions to each other specific contribution. Next is opt star formula. Now, what is star formula? Hiring managers often check the credibility of the candidate. No one can put the candidate who is not credible. First of all, reference check is a very important thing, and every organization will do this reference checking candidate by asking them situational based questions. Right? When you are sitting, suppose for example, I have to recruit one counselor, so I have to ask her that, like, sell this pencil in front of me. By this, he or she can, like, she will, like, give me a demo. How could she say in front of the customer who can buy her pencil? The best way to handle the situation based question is star format. Now, what is the full form of star? Situational, task, action, and result. This is the full form of star. Situation is like you are sitting in that situation. Task means like I have to give some task, you have to do it. And action means like she or he will be, like, doing action in front of me. And now the result. Output is very countable. As you know, output, without output, no one can, like, hire you. Next question is, like next components, it's include achievements. Now, what is include achievement? You have to put your awards, rewards, incentives, right? Appreciation letters along with you. Next is define goal. Now, define candidate's goal means like it is very specific. This section of the candidate's portfolio should reflect the candidate's professional goals for the next few years. This section must be explored to the stress how much a candidate is willing to get this job and how this job suits the candidate's overall career goal and career map. This is very, very important. Candidate with prominent points. Now, what do you mean by candidate with prominent points? Candidate can conclude his or her portfolio with the crisp statement that present important details about his or her candidature, right? Next is choose the most effective medium or design portfolio. There can be a variety of way in which portfolio may be designed. The most important question is that suits the candidate and what can be the most effective way for the candidate. I'm taking it with the small example. We have a web developer and may create a website to design his or her portfolio, whether he or she can portray his or her technical and creative acumen. And anyone, whether it's a marketing person or a HR person or a finance person or a IT person, he or she have to be like portray his or her what portfolio, right? Now, next is make it easy to comprehend. Now, what is makes you easy to comprehend? Like, what do you mean by this? Use good language always, and it should be a structured one. The sentence should be apt with no grammatical errors. Try that your content is errorless, because one error of yours will make your whole impression will get down. So kindly remember these points, it's very essential. Coming up with the interview. Everyone knows what is interviews. See, interviews are of, like, interview refers to a formal, in-depth conversation between two or more persons, whereas the exchange of information take place with the view of checking a candidate's accessibility for the job. Interviews are considered to be the most practical way to understand the personality trait of the interviewee. Now, I am an interviewee because I am giving my interview, and you are the interviewer because you are taking my interview, right? Now, there is a type of interviews. How many types? There are 8 types of interview. Most of you maybe know about these types. There are several people who maybe not know these sites. So for you, I am just telling one by one. First interview type is screening or telephonic interview. Everybody know these days after COVID or post COVID, most of the companies are taking telephonic interview. This is the first hand information which we have to take from the candidate side. We have to speak her, ask her about the small introduction, asking more about the skill set, what exactly he or she is doing, what are the work experience, what are the qualification. Apart from this, if time required, we can take as a video conference call also. We can give some exercise which she has to do over the video conferencing. So in telephonic interviews, basically we have to speak a little bit about the person. By telephonic interview, one thing more what I can tell you is that uh, interviewee can understand what kind of personality he or she is carrying. Is he a confident? His her voice is confident or not? So maybe it gives a better edge to understand the candidature. Now second is personal interview. Personal interview, as you know, it's a most common type of interview and usually take place in a person at the organization headquarters, and we have to meet person in person, and gives at least 5 to 60 minutes for taking personal interviews. Now, third one is behavioral based interviews. Now, what is behavior based? In this interview method goes much deeper than the usual interviews method. Why? It is required because after this, we have to demonstrate candidates' attribute in a key areas such as he is having teamwork spirit or not, problem solving abilities are not, creative, how creative he is, flexibility of organizational strength or not found in his candidature. So this is a behavior based interview. Next is task-based interview or test. Now, what is task-based interviews? These type of interviews are designed to be creative and analytical in solving problems across various tasks or assignments. It may be included in a short test or assess a candidate's technical knowledge and skills. It is very much required, right? Now, next is a stress interview. Now, what is stress? Interview method is too rare, and the interview prompt to see a candidate's reaction. In this point, it is highlight the candidate's weakness and see how they react under pressure. We have to give such situation. Really, this is a very stressful. Person should give a like a give a situation where a person have to like act very stressfully. He have to answer. After seeing the answer, he or she can decide whether he is selected or unselected. Now, management based interview is the sixth form of interview. Now, what is management based? In this interview, certain management based questions or situations has given to the candidate, and management skills can be assessed. At that time, certain case studies are there, life situation. See, we have to give life situation also. Once we have to see that person as how tactful a person is having, like is he able to understand the management aspect or not. So related to this, you have to sort the queries, right? Now, next is focused interview. Now, what is focused interview? In focused interview, for certain specified jobs, like analytical approach of the candidate may be assessed. Certain situation of a live live work profile may be given to the candidate. These type of interview are very focused as they specify check and aptitude of the candidate by putting them across the daily challenges, right? And the last interview is a exit interview. Now, why exit interview? See, this form of interview is very important. Exit interview. As the name suggests, present time exit interview is like done when generally candidate is going to leave the organization. They just want to know what are the reasons why person can like candidate can or employee is going to leave the organization. He just or she just want a feedback which is very important for the organizational point of view. These are the types of interview. Now, coming up with the process of an interview. Now, what is the process of interview? The process of an interview is a multi-stage process and take place to hire new employee. There are certain steps involved in the interview process. Now, these are the steps: job description, advertising the job, screening, scheduling interview, preliminary interview, personal interview, follow up, and last is hiring. So we will discuss how it is happen. Coming next is a group discussion. Now, what is a group discussion? GD is a form of a part of your interview screening method. Now, GD is not only about talking or not even about talking senses, but it is more than talking sense. If also include practicing a candidate's intellectual capacities to thoroughly consider the subject, pay attentions of the perspectives of the other individuals, incorporating their perspective with the candidates shown on the assessing the GD with showing up constantly intelligent answer for the issue being asked about. So in GD, generally we have to debate and public talking are one to numerous correspondence. We have to make two groups and we have to give one topic also. And in that topic, both the group will participate in a active manner. And there is a person who can tell you who is the right person of judging. Now, this is the group discussion. Now, what is coming next? See, group discussions are of different type also. See, topic-based group discussion, case-based group discussion, also case studies, and article-based group discussion. Everybody know what is the topic-based group discussion. We have to give one topic, and both the parties talk about their views. In case-based group discussion, we have to give one case study, and both the parties will discuss what is all about the case. In article based group discussion, we have to give one article to a party, to only one party, and ask her or him to speak on that particular article. So these are the three types of group discussions. Next is offer letter. Now, what is offer letter? See, offer letter is a part of formal business communication, and it's usually written by an organization which promise to offer a job, placement, internship, part-time job to any selected candidate. The offer letter are usually written by the HR department of an organization, and offer letter and the name suggests offer the complete information of the job. The profile being offered, it consists of the terms and conditions of the employment. That is, for example, salary package being offered, tenure of the bond, if any, detail of the incentives based upon the performance, joining duties are there, data entry, exit policy of the organization, medical insurance, earn and casual leaves are there. So these are the things which we are mentioned over the offer letter. Coming up is unit 13, technology and communication. Now, what is technology and communication? In this objective, in this objective, in this unit, we can like understand the objective, why we are going to read this, understand the concept of technology and communication, explore the effective tools of technology and communication, explore other multimedia tools in presentations, and learn the management of social media management. These are the main objective of learning, or this unit. So firstly, internet and intranet. Now, what is internet and intranet? Internet is an open field, and there is no central administration to it, right? TCP/IP protocol is the prime operating agent for the internet, used by the connected networks, which may also involve other protocols like FTTP, FTP, and SMTP. Apart from these, there are other protocols also which have been used since the genesis of the internet, such as telnet, FTP, say file transfer protocol, internet, relay charts, gopher, usenet news, or www, that is called world wide web, right? This is the internet. Now, what is the intranet? Internet, as we know that intranet is a private computer network, but in order to operate, it has to use internet protocols, network connectivity to access, communicate, and share vital information within the virtual boundaries in the organization. TCP/IP protocols, which is identified to an internet. So basically, intranet is a private network. It only access the users have access. It is more secured network, and it is a limited users. The traffic is very limited. Why? Because it's a single standalone private network. That is why there is no traffic. You can work smoothly. I hope everyone understands. Now, what is multimedia presentations? I hope everybody knows what is multimedia. Can anyone wants to tell about the multimedia presentations? Any answers? No one. Presentation, as we know, is a very important part of organization. Proper systematic information or lively presentations can leave deep impact, long lasting impact in our mind of client, team, and all the stakeholders directly or indirectly involved in a business. PPT, PowerPoint presentation are also done effectively, but multimedia software have surely developed a edge over these in due course of time. So for corporate time, it is the most important resource organization wish to establish among impact right away in the first meeting or the first conversation with their stakeholders. And as we know, following list of commonly used tools include in multimedia presentation. Now, what are the tools? These are the text, images, videos, sound, GIF, animations, chart, transitions, narrations, sound, and sound effects. These are the commonly used multimedia presentations. Now, what are the information and communication technology? Anyone wants to answer? See, I'm going to tell you information and communication technology. As we know the term information and communication technology, that is called ICT, refers to the technology and service involved in computing, data protocols management, telecommunication, and the internet. ICT aims to provide newer and more innovative way for people to interact, network, gain access to the information, excel and learn all the same time. Information technology or ICT now has a significant economic impact. Now what is the importance of information communication, ICT and e-commerce? Like now, as we know, e-commerce are growing day by day, and it's a shoppers friendly things. We know about Flipkart, Amazon, and several other like e-commerce portal are also there, which are doing really very good. uh, with the new business, manufacturing innovations, and manufacturing other things, ICT, like information and communication technology is doing really very vast, and we are somehow depend on them. Why? Because we are like our healthcare system is also depend upon the telecommunication. Apart from the health sectors, education is all into this. Environmental impact, everything is like totally depend upon the telecommunication masses. Now coming up with the next, till now any questions, learners? Next, see, I'm like putting, these are the importance of information communication technology. It's clearly mentioned there are uh, 8 or 9 telecommunication importances. Just read it out. Coming up with the virtual meetings. Now what is virtual meetings? Virtual meetings in which is which when people are different departments, division, sections interface simultaneously utilizing innovations to achieve a common objectives. Virtual meetings in general are easy to execute and do not require as much planning time and offline meeting does. Virtual meetings can run successfully if planned well in advance. In present time, where the pandemic situation has made things complex. See, in the complex, in the virtual meeting concept is generally come when the COVID is arrived. We have like all the time, like till now also some IT companies are still doing virtual meetings, and it's increasing day by day. Now all people are virtually connected to each other. So like interaction with colleague at distance. uh, why it is important? Why? Because these days people are sitting in Lucknow and wants to talk with the Calcutta people and wants to see virtually, so we have to make this happen through virtual meetings. Now platform of virtual meetings, we can having a different platforms also, option to record the meetings. Just now we are doing chat options are also there, sync the meeting information and with as a platform. Everybody knows how could we record our meetings. Chat options are also there. Just now we are doing what we are doing. What we are doing meeting also right now we are doing meeting, and we have a meeting information with the calendars and options to modify records also. So these are the platform. Now what is the teleconferencing? See, in today's remote work locations have become very common due to expansion of the business and organization. This has give rise to the teleconferencing, when each and every team member who is even remotely located can be reached and can be connected. Organization have realized the importance of communication as a proper message. Information, fact and figures have to be communicated to all the employees, customers and clients. So teleconferencing basically very important for these days scenario, and the way of connected two or more people being used by the telecommunication service, who may be evenly spread out of the different locations. Right. Now, what are the major benefits of teleconferencing? So it includes saving of time, as we all know. It save lot of time, save lot of money also, increase productivity, scope for face-to-face conversation with the video conferences, fastening up with the decision-making process, fosters collaboration, and develop professional work culture. See, by collaborating and developing, we can create professional work culture also. Simultaneously, after teleconferencing, we have a video conference also. By video conferencing, we can how can we use video conferencing? For this video conferencing, it's apart from in video conferencing, we can organize webinars, meetings, and various online events. Video conferencing is an advanced tool of telecommunication. It is a audio plus visual experience that empowers the user to communicate with each other and see each other in the real time. Teleconferencing options are very lucrative for the business, and it gives the freedom to users to have face to face live conversation. Right. I hope everyone understand what is video conferences. Now, audio conferencing. In the case with audio conferencing also, we can typically telephone conference call, which now we are going to, as we all know, we can connect two or more people while doing teleconferencing. Maximum 10 people can connect at a time, I hope. Right. Now the next is lean media and rich media. Now, what is lean media and rich media? See, media play an important role, as we all know, in the communication part. It can be rich or lean. The media richness theory was developed firstly by the Richard Ed Draft and Robert E. Lingwell in 1980s, which describe a communication model whereby the communication media is characterized by its ability to carry and reproduce information sent over the available communication channels. Media richness theory defines different communication in the basis of ability to carry information, changing how low or how rich. Right. Now, the question arises, what is lean media? See, this is the history of lean media. Learners, are you able to listen me properly? Learners, can
Yes,
anyone
ma'am.
can? Yeah, now it's okay. It is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming up with the lean media, is there any questions arises in your mind? Please speak us. Lean media. Now, lean media has very less visual information with a low interaction rate. I'm taking it with the example of lean media includes letter, reports, memos, email is considered as a lean media, as the facial, vocal and body language cue and not present. As you seen, I have putting the figures shown, computer printouts as a low richness, written reports is quite comparatively small, and then emails, then telephones, video conferencing, and video conferencing is putting a high richness. So Is it okay, Aditi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to discuss cross-culture communication. It is a study to understand the difference and similarity of different culture group so as to effectively participate within organization. In other words, I can say that it is refers to the adaptation done by the people from different cultures. See, this I can take with the examples. Example is very easy. You worked in an organization and like several people come from the different areas. Some are Muslims, some are Hindu, some are with different persons. So basically we learn from each other, so there is a cross culture communication between or both of them, between me to my Christian friend. I hope you are understand. So now with the different topic with the Hofstede cultural dimension model, I'm going to discuss you. Now, Hofstede cultural dimension, what is this model? This is this model tells you about the culture has been deeply explained. This basically model given by the Edward Hall, an anthropologist, and he published his book also with the silent language, the hidden dimension beyond culture, understanding cultural differences, etc., where he suggests that culture is a form of communication governed by the hidden rules that involves both speech and sections also. He termed culture as a vast unexplosive region. So basically, Hoffite culture dimension model tells you about the power distance indexing, individualism versus collectivism. This basically theory is said about the culture. The collective programming of the mind distinguish the members of one group or a category of people from others. So this is all about the culture dimension. Now, coming with the next theory of all culture model. Learners, are you able to listen me properly? Hall culture model. This model is given by the Edward T. Hall, and it is a contribution of the understanding of the culture. He come the term intercultural communication and suggested that in different culture individual use different means of communication, which may range from using just words to using body language, touch behavior, and also paraverbal communication is there. He is classified an analysis of the interpretation of how communication and interaction take place between culture under these categories, that is context, space, and time. This is called Hall culture model. Now, coming next with the cross culture communication barriers, these are the barriers. Now, as you know, every thing is having a barrier also. Observation and interpretation are distinct with the viewed with the reference of cross culture communication barrier. In cross culture communication can be classified into five heads, that is language barrier, non communication, stereotypes, cultural biasness, and anxiety. These five cross culture communication may help you with the things. Now, coming next, These are the overcoming of the cross-culture communication barriers by which we can cross-culture communication stands for the process which not only identify and addresses difference but also similarly amongst cultural group so as to effectively engage within a given context. Most of the cross culture differences can be classified as language, written communication, listening, non-verbal communication, body language, touch behavior, just like haptics or facial expressions are there. Everybody knows what is language. It should be Hindi or English or any regional language. Written communication, you very well knows what are the written communication. Now listening is what you are listen. Non-verbal communication using sign language, and next is body language, how well you can like explain via your body language. Touch, basically your facial gestures are there. Next is unit 15, ethics in communication. Now, what are the objectives of this unit? In this unit, we can able to understand the concept of ethics, what are the ethics are about, and then evaluate the contribution of value to the ethical communication. Next, how to assess the element of ethical communication. Now, what is ethical framework? An ethical framework is how to compare the means, end, and intention as a good or bad. We can also discuss with the ethical framework given by the MEC Proxy in 2009. Here I will put a small diagram for you also. See. Now, what is the ethical communication? Ethical communication refers the process of sharing information which is created with the sincere intentions and intended to the provide honest information. This information will not be misleading and should be conveyed in a fashion wherein the information is complete and all respect essentially with the reference to its context, so that there lies transparency in all formats. So this is all about ethical framework. Now, as you see, this is a small diagram presented. Now the question arises, what is the ethical communication? Ethical communication refers to the process of sharing information which create and increase intentions and intended to provide honest information. This information will also not mislead and also be conveyed in a fashion where the information is complete in all respect, essentially with reference to this context. This is called ethical communication. Now, what is the value in communication? Value play very crucial role, as we all know, in shaping in our individual's behavior. Value may differ across different cultures, religion, countries, yet there are certain values that remain common. People value happiness the most and want to avoid suffering. Love, kindness, peace, mutual respect, and understanding are preferred values. So these are the few things which we have to learn in the value in communication. Learners, this finishes off your whole block 4, and now you tell me, is there any problem? Learners, are you getting my voice properly? Is there any problem, any questions you can ask me? So with this, I am finishing off my lecture. I hope everyone can understand this thing. I hope everyone can understand business communication more effectively, more essentially. I really wish you will do all well in your exams. And with keeping this on mind, we will like my contact number is there. If you have any issues, please contact me and talk to me if you find any problem. So with this, I'm winding off with my lecture for today, and see you with the next one. Take care. Thank you so much, learners.